What's up, y'all? I'm PJ.
And I'm Les.
And we are
Two Peas in a Pod.
And P stands for
Perfection.
Price is Right.
Principles.
Man, you got me with principles. Potions, I don't know.
Plants.
Pop your collar.
Persephone.
I was trying to think of another term or a quote that starts. Darren got a P. Darren back, y'all. What P you got?
Prerogative.
Hey, Bobby Brown, that's my prerogative. I can do what I want to do. That's my prerogative. I can live my life. That's my prerogative. Tell me why can't I live my life? I'm done. My fault.
It's loud.
My fault. Go
you
ahead.
kind of look like him, but not really.
Like Bobby Brown? Pre-crack Bobby Brown?
Of course.
You never know. Crack Bobby Brown, two different things.
No. But I told you, the other person I told you look like?
Ooh.
You don't remember?
Because people say Pastor Michael Todd without the hips. But who are you talking
This is like 90s Eddie Murphy.
I've heard that before.
Yeah. Yeah, him. There was a whole group of them that kind of looked alike. Anyway, what's up with you?
Things is good. Things is going well, honestly.
Yeah.
Man, where has my world been at lately? The foundation I'm a part of, we've been ramping up and taking off. You're of course a part of the team as well.
Yeah.
So if you're in the Dallas Fort Worth area, the Walter Bruce Foundation, we feed the unhoused every Saturday. Mm-hmm. There's a Ghana branch as well. I am over the operations and data on the Managed Day Health side, where we do healthcare services for the unhoused, but we're expanding the low-income population. So I'm just really glad to see how the organization has been on for about 2 years and some change. But with all the new teams, the new people here coming on the team, and we pray on a weekly basis, y'all. God sends you destiny helpers, and it's so great to see people come in with their different skill sets, right, and really just bless a foundation that wants to bless and serve others. So, it's just been really exciting. And healthcare, as you all know, access to healthcare is that's my professional passion. That's my work. Like I told y'all, I'm a project manager. I work within social determinants of health and health equity. So being able to do that outside of my professional workspace has been good. It ties to today just as a preview, but just want to share that. That's me.
That's awesome. I've been able to see the things that you are doing and others are doing with the foundation, and it's really wonderful. I would say, what is going on with me? Stuff with school. I'm trying to figure out my thesis. I'm redoing it. I had an idea for what my thesis topic was. Mm-hmm. That changed when I met a wonderful anthropologist who is just so fascinating in a number of different ways.
They're local?
No, they are in Boston.
Okay.
They got their undergrad, master's, and PhD from my university.
Oh.
Now a faculty member there.
Educated.
Yes, but they're also still in the field doing research, and they study fandoms, which is so fun.
Fandoms?
Yeah, they're a social anthropologist.
So Michael Jackson.
Well, yeah, but the fandom that she studies is the biggest fandom in the world.
Which is what?
Guess.
Taylor Swift.
No.
Is it a person? Jesus Christ? No. Well, you can't be a fan of Jesus. You're a follower, but
you can be a fan and follower. No, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter?
That is the biggest fandom in the world.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
And she studied and studies the Harry Potter fandom, and she's just super impressive.
That sounds like a fun job.
I imagine it is, and she's just super cool. I don't know. I don't want to say too much about her because I don't have, and I don't have consent to talk about her right now.
Yeah.
But she is going to be my mentor. She does not know this yet, though.
That's a blessing. Oh, I'm actually getting a mentor too.
Oh, love that.
At my organization, yeah. I love population health, and he was a lead director of it. Now he's an executive director in a different division. I don't put too much of the business out, but that's great. You align with somebody that's in the path of where you're trying to go, not necessarily the exact role, but you get those guidance, those tips, as well as just just following whatever direction she gives you.
Yeah, and I don't know, may see myself in academia for a long time in my future.
Okay.
So it's just also getting the perspective of somebody who works in academia.
You'd be a good teacher.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got the patience.
Thank you.
Yeah, clarity, you're the brains of the podcast, if y'all remember.
Only sometimes. PJ also is the brains, but he brings other things.
Yeah.
Okay.
The sauce of the podcast.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
No, you do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Tell me.
What's up?
What are you wearing today?
So today, I'm really happy about my outfit today. I'm gonna put this laptop down just because of that. You see what I'm saying? Let me move this thing up on this tiger table, leopard. Print. Yep. Y'all. So I got the Braves 940 A-frame. As y'all know, that's my favorite style of hat. You can send to my PO box more hats. I don't have a PO box, but I'm gonna get one after this episode. Okay. But I got the 90 A-frame, the Atlanta Braves. I'm from Florida, but Florida and Georgia are cousins, and you can't go wrong with a Braves hat. So I love this hat here. I found it. This two-tone. The white two-tone hats are always amazing. I got this Jesus piece on, shot to Jesus, love you, Jesus. Oh yeah,
I like that.
You always like it when I wear it.
Yeah. I saw you wear it somewhere. And
at a pool party, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
At a pool party, he was wearing that, y'all.
Yeah. And then I got this so Primo Rice is one of my favorite artists. He's from the DMV. I've shouted him out before. This is the Sucker Free tour. I'm going to turn around too, actually, to show the back. If you're listening audio-wise, you're not going to be able to see it. So give me 1 second.
So for everyone listening, I will narrate. He's turning around to show the Primo Rice tee. There's a tire wheel rim being wiped off.
You're not properly describing it. So on the back of the t-shirt, right? It is. So I think it might be a Yokohama tire with 18-inch Lorenzos. I could be wrong. Those are rims, right? It's gold spokes, y'all. Like, man, when I tell you that lifestyle rap, like I told you, just like Larry June, Dom Kennedy, lifestyle rap, Currency, lifestyle rap. And it was a great concert. It was on Juneteenth weekend. And he dropped his new album. We went last year together to his tour.
That was our first hangout. We've mentioned it before.
Yeah. So that was a blast and a good time.
Yeah.
You funny.
It was a great time.
But yeah. So that's the t-shirt, and I'm really happy because whenever I go to a tour, I love to buy merch because one, you support the artist, and two, you get to leave with some also physically. So I would do that. The green track pants, can't go wrong with that. Comfortable but stylish. And then I got my combat boots on just because I didn't want to do like ones or something like no offense to New Balances, Darren, I know you're wearing them, but not anything like kind of like very common, right? But something just different, but it flows. I wore these on the last episode of last season. Y'all was talking about SpongeBob boots, so I didn't wear shorts with them this time. Yeah, right. But we dripping. But I see you very beachy, very comfortable. Where them fans at? You got a fan in your hand?
This one's broken, but it still works and it's hot.
Where them broken fans at?
All right. But yeah, it is a more beachy vibe. I don't call it anything, but I think it's more boho, very like free spirited.
Very Cancun.
These skirts, y'all, I don't know when these came back in style, but these loose like cotton or knit like skirts. So comfortable, so breezy. And then, I'm just wearing beach shoes because these are like, some people would say you can't wear these to the beach, but these are like my vacation.
Yeah. What are they made
shoes? Out of? Straw.
Okay.
I think.
All right, like the freshest straw out of Princeton, Texas. Farm country.
Straw.
Yeah.
Yeah, just all white, comfortable. I just needed something to match the skirt.
It's fly.
Thank you.
Fly.
We kind of, the white matches.
The white matches.
We're aligned in that way.
And the fan, because it's black. So.
Comfy cute.
Comfy cute. That was the dress code for this episode.
Yeah.
Per Les's recommendation.
Yeah.
Requirement.
Oh, you can hear this. For those listening, this is the sound of my fan.
You stupid.
I'm trying to be inclusive.
Oh my God.
Isn't that kind of crazy? You could really hear that.
All right, Les. I know you said you had a question for me for what's on my mind today.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So my question is, what's one goal you had that no longer fits who you are?
One goal I had that no longer fits who I am. Man, that's a great question.
I know.
Wow. It's probably tied to career. Coming out before I left grad school, I wanted to be a health policy analyst.
Oh.
I love health policy. Like that was like my biggest studies. I mean, y'all have heard me talk about it lightly before. And actually on the first episode, you heard me dive into it and kind of like the politics of healthcare, because I just like, understanding how different political structures and like certain bills or whatever kind of like facilitate and funnel towards from the federal to the state to the local level.
Yeah.
And just being able to be a part of like the spaces and in those rooms that, like give recommendations and like, analyze the impacts and the effects of like the policies implemented. But that shifted because I realized that one, politics are politics.
Yeah.
And two, I'm more of a hands-on person. I like being a part of the team that implements these projects and initiatives, and that's what I do now on a day-to-day basis. So when I was going to grad school, I was applying for all them roles, kept getting denied, kept getting denied, kept denied. I thought the city of Washington, D.C. hated me, honestly. But honestly, the rejection was God's redirection, and I'm truthfully glad that I never got any of those jobs in the DMV, honestly. I really feel like I'm at the place I'm supposed to be at.
I know you love it here.
I love it.
He's
here.
never leaving.
Shout out to Dallas.
Well, I love, though, that you're in the same industry, but you found the place that fits you.
My niche.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I would, if I had to answer that question, and I will, I'm going to say one. So I used to be a dancer. For those who don't know, I don't know if I've talked about that on the podcast before, but I was classically trained in ballet, tap, lyrical or modern, contemporary, hip hop, point, all the things. I did everything, pom. And growing up, I wasn't built for it, but I wanted to win this dance scholarship to travel with this company. And that did not happen. It's also not really aligned with who I am right now because I don't dance anymore, but I still appreciate dance and the discipline and the skill that goes into it.
There's a lot of time. It requires a lot of time.
It is a ton of, I remember growing up, some of my friends just had so much free time, and I was always like, well, I have dance class. I have to go to the studio. I have to all these different things. And I love it. I wouldn't trade it, but that's just not aligned with where I am right now. So that's very different than where my life ended up. I wasn't meant to be a prima ballerina. I wasn't that's just not who I am in terms of you have to be physically built for that.
Yeah.
But I think that people who do it are amazing. It's just not a goal for me anymore.
And a quick point is that if you thought your field of tech required not required, I'm sorry, but had such a low rate of just entry in there, dancing is just another rate. What?
I'm saying
a professional dancer, that just can't be anybody.
To be a prima ballerina, you have to be I don't even know.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the show, but I used to watch. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Darren has asked if he's watched the show. Oh, and go ahead, Darren.
It's intense.
It's very intense, y'all, as Darren has said, if you can't hear him.
A girl from my high school, I grew up in Illinois outside of Chicago, and she actually was a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader for 2 seasons, I think. And she was on my dance team in high school as well. So, yeah, it's a lot of work.
Can I make a comment on that too?
Yeah.
Watch episodes 3 and 5 on Netflix because our friend Rose
Yeah.
has Rose Style Studio. She is a partner of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, and she does their hair and does it well. I don't know girl terms, so just know that Rose, shout out to you for the work that you do.
Shout out Rose.
Yeah.
And she does hair for non-Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders
as well. So if you want to go because you're not a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader because that wasn't in your plans in life, you should go. Trinity.
You don't have to be a cheerleader of any form. You can just be a human being who wants to get their hair done.
Shout out to Rose Style Studio.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for answering that question. I think it kind of leads in a little bit to our topic today. I wanted to just think about what are goals that we've had in the past and maybe how those things had shifted. Because today we want to talk about redefining success and identity.
Yeah.
So as you know, we shared that this season we really want to focus on how we as young people are navigating life, which includes professionalism. It includes our mental health and well-being, our physical health, just all aspects, spirituality, all aspects of life as you're a young person, just what that looks like, relationships, things like that. And I think one of the things that happens is when you graduate from school, if you decide to go that route, or when you finish training or whatever you're doing, and you get a job, you enter the real world, what's next?
Yeah.
After you've achieved all the things that maybe your parents, or maybe if that wasn't your journey, just things that you set up for yourself or you made goals when you were young, what do you do after that? A lot of people, I think, experience this quarter life crisis where you're this is just what the rest of my life looks like. So today we want to talk about that and how we reinvent ourselves or redefine success and what that looks like for us.
Yeah, and I'll touch on that point as well because that is something that ties to after you've reached some goals, some folks get complacent. That's one thing, right?
Yeah.
Other folks, they've been so focused on career and education that they don't have hobbies or an actual life and don't know what to do outside of work, right? But also just feeling burnt out as well.
That's a big thing. I think especially for high achievers. That's a good point too, because I just came at it from the perspective of like, okay, once you get to that point, everybody automatically is like, what's next? But some people might not be feeling that. Some people are like, cool, like I'm good where I'm at, and that's not a bad thing. That's fine. But if you want to start to think about what's next, we can maybe chat about like some ways that we do that.
Yeah.
And what success looks like / what identity is. But let's just get into some things. I have some stats.
You're going to hit us with the stats.
Okay, so this first one is from the Wall Street Journal, and it's related to defining success. And in my opinion, you can tell me if you're aligned with this.
Okay.
I think success is something that you should consistently at least identify and then redefine if you choose to. But you should consistently be looking at how you define success.
Yeah, I feel like success changes based on your life circumstances. Right?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, success isn't linear, because how you define success and see it is probably not how I see it, right?
Yeah.
And success also isn't something that is a step-by-step process. You know, there's failures, there's highs, there's lows, but also like in terms of like what the actual like things you want to attribute to success, because some people's success can look like just having a stable job, a family, and being able to just have hobbies on the weekends.
Yeah.
Where other success is having multiple businesses, being an entrepreneur, being able to like scale up at the highest level at the corporate ladder at your organization, and being able to just be someone within like the social environment, be a socializer to a degree. It really all depends on what you see it looks like, but also kind of like what path, you know, you're kind of like looking to lay out in the foundation and what that is as well.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned success might look different for you and I.
Yeah.
And I think it also looks different at different points in our life.
Yeah.
So like we just talked about, some of the goals we had before, we saw that as success. And now I'm like, okay, that's not really what I look at for success, because I'm not even doing those things anymore.
Yeah.
So our values can sometimes change. So I think success is based on your values and like the things you prioritize.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I was like real young, like before I left Florida, like honestly, I didn't ever think I was gonna leave Florida.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought I was just gonna like have like a big job. I don't know what it was gonna be. This was like when I was real young, and just have a big house in like Fort Lauderdale in Miami. I would never live there in my life. You know what I'm saying? No offense to Miami, Darren, but you know, I would never live in Miami at all. But like my point I'm trying to make is that like you said, when you start out as young, there's a set level of goals, and even it's sometimes taught to you by your parents and your environment.
Yeah.
And then as you experience maybe like career or in workforce, if that's your path, or like a college or whatever, there's new like interests that we have that come about, right? Because I don't know if like you ever considered anthropology as like a grad school major, like 5 years ago.
No.
If anything, right?
No.
Like, and for me, I never considered being a project manager like 2 years ago.
Right.
And I've been one for that long.
Exactly. It's like you never know where your life is going to take you. And I think your experiences, like you mentioned, and what you're exposed to can change what you want to achieve in life. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
So I will share some data points from the Wall Street Journal. A survey of U.S. adults aged 18 to 34 found that for this generation, physical and mental health now top the list as markers of success, with wealth and status ranking much lower. Wealth placed fifth,
Really?
which I think was not the case for like people in generations prior to us.
So do you think it's because a lot of people here want to experience a work-life balance and also just feel like holistically well? Because I think, I think it's a mindset that I feel like our generation have, is that the money's going to come, but I want to be a best version of myself physically, mentally. I want to feel good. You know, I want my mind to be clear, you know, things like that.
I think it's part of that. And it's also like, this generation, I will say, does have an affinity for nice things, regardless of whether or not we earn it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that we also understand that money doesn't bring happiness.
Right.
And because I don't know about you, but in my high school growing up, there were so many suicides. And I lived in a pretty affluent area. I was a not well-to-do kid at my high school, and my parents did okay. But there were people with like their own planes that went to my high school, and there were so many suicides. So it was just like, okay, these people can have a lot of money, but that doesn't mean they're happy. So I feel like with our generation, because we're seeing more people with who are struggling with their mental health and well-being, we recognize that there's more importance that should be placed on things outside of wealth.
Yeah, I mean, in generations before, it was a simpler life. You know, all you had was like work, home, and family. Those were the core values in church, of course, right? For the most part, for the conventional what's the word they use?
Nuclear,
Nuclear, yeah, family, right? Yeah.
In the United States.
Yeah, but nowadays we aspire to have like businesses, you know, we compare ourselves to like the aspirations of others, right? We look at our goals.
That's true.
Yeah, like there's a lot of outside factors that impact us from feeling about our own selves if we're actually doing well and if we're happy with oneself. And at a young age of like committing suicide at that end, because I had a homeboy who committed suicide when I was in high school. I think it's just tied to like, why am I really happy with what I have right now?
Yeah.
You know, with who I am, and that ties to identity. Like,
or how am I that is identity as well. It's like, how am I impacting other people?
Right.
Because sometimes they feel like other people don't care.
Right.
So that's a whole nother topic. And we should have, sorry, because I brought it up, I should have given like a trigger warning to discuss suicide. So we'll probably put
on this
something. But your point, it kind of like makes me backtrack, because I think we place value on things besides wealth, but I also think our generation is focused on developing wealth at the same. So it's interesting to me that that's not an indicator of success, or it's ranked fifth.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. This is gonna be a PJ rant real quick. We're gonna take a conventional route. Black people, we understand y'all want generational wealth. Generational wealth is like a tagline now.
Yeah, it's
point,
a buzz phrase.
Yeah, at this line. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I just had
No, that's okay. I'm going to share a couple other things, couple other data points from Pew Research, and this is of Black adults, including those 18 to I wanted to focus on 18 to 29, but only 26% consider themselves very or extremely successful of Black adults in the United States, ages 18 to 29.
Yep.
Which is a small percent. That's a little over a fourth.
I mean, we're in there.
Yeah. Well, do you consider, okay, we'll get back to that. And then 66% say at least somewhat successful. So they don't consider themselves very or extremely successful. And then the top definitions of success include providing for family. 82% of Black adults in that age range believe that. 80% say that being happy is a definition of success. And then 65% say having enough free time, which is a major one for me. I want autonomy of my time.
Yeah.
And then last one, 56% say having an enjoyable career is an indicator of success.
Yeah.
So are there any of those that you align with? Providing for family, being happy, having enough free time, and having an enjoyable career?
I would say having enough free time, I think, is a good place where I'm at right now. I mean, as you know, I live on a calendar and a schedule, right?
Yeah.
So I make sure to make time that anything that I'm doing, I'm investing it, and it feeds me to some degree.
Yeah.
Another one, and if you could list them out again, I'm sorry.
Providing for family, being happy, having enough free time, and having an enjoyable career.
Yeah. I think that might be the only one, because I don't have a family, but I do feel like where I'm at right now, like I'm sustaining myself.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if like a full family in the mix, like, because like, you know, we're coming out of, like, let's be real, like student debt, you know, like also trying to build and like take on, like, you know, new responsibilities, and that requires us to take a lot of risks that probably a family, you couldn't maintain one, you know, at the end of the day, right? A job that you're happy with, I feel like I like what I do, but a job that I'm happy with, that for me is holistic. Like the people I work with, do I enjoy that fully? You know, like the organization, does that really make me feel like stable, right?
Yeah.
These are things that I don't really see fully encompass a level of success for me, right?
Yeah.
Areas where I do feel a level of success is at my current age, I do feel like where I am financially in a stable way, for sure. You know, I feel like there's a somewhat level of success, but I always feel like I know there's more, and that's why I work so hard, right? Because like how I continue to grow in that way, and if I'm going like, you know, left, let me know, is like I'm continuing to find courses to, you know, like enhance my resume, right? Networking so I can meet people to help me scale up in those environments, right? Identifying what are other ways that I can grow my income outside of just like where I show up day to day. And I think that those are all three key things that people within our age range of, like, honestly, I'm 18 is a little lower. I'm gonna say from like about like 24 to 29 really are honed in on right now.
It sounds like personal development is like a big focus value for you.
Huge, yeah.
Same.
What's up, y'all? Hope you're enjoying this episode so far. Hopefully it's been funny, or you're being educated or informed or whatever we're sharing. But we want you to go over to the YouTube channel, check out our reels, check out our full episodes, check out our soak segments of our full episodes. You'll find playlists for even season 1 that we had, but also season 2 that we're in now. Don't forget to also check out our socials, 2Ps_1 podcast, but also drop in on our Spotify and Apple Music if you want to hear audibly as well. So thank you for being a listener. Thank you for being a part of the podcast community, which is the P Pod, and shout out to you, and check out the rest of the episode now.
I think so too. I think that's kind of how I think about autonomy of my time, for sure. I talk about that all the time. And I would say continued development, whether that be like education, like academic education, or I do this thing where every year I have to learn a certain number of new skills. So I'll say like once a quarter I have to learn new skills. So for example, one was crocheting. Another time I took a painting class. I learned how to play pickleball, which everybody's playing now. But just like I tell myself I have to learn a new skill.
Yeah.
I want to learn.
Even recreational, that's dope.
Yeah. Just like you need to do something, and it keeps you, and it also gives me joy too. Like these are things I enjoy doing. I want to learn how to DJ. That's like a dream of mine.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I just have enough time for this podcast, but go ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah, the podcast. No, I actually, in my goals this year, I wrote down there certain things I wanted us to do with the podcast. So I defined success for specific areas of life in different ways.
Right.
And I would say for me, success looks like achieving those specific goals. So I'll make literal checklists of things that I want to do over time. And then I think also, like more broadly, I've come to the realization through like prayer and just conversations with God that my purpose is to help other people achieve their purpose.
Yeah.
Whether that be like financially connecting them with people, different forms of support. It looks different in different environments, but I feel like that's where I thrive, and I really enjoy seeing other people fulfill their purpose. So
you do that at work with your startups.
Yeah.
The tech company. That's crazy.
Yeah, because I like seeing things. I like creating and then like seeing how they come out, but it doesn't always have to be like my idea or my baby, but I just like creating things or supporting people with creating things. So.
You know who Malcolm Gladwell is?
Why does that sound so familiar?
He's a author, and he wrote a book called The Tipping Point. It's actually my favorite book of all time.
Oh, maybe you've brought it up to me then before.
Did, yeah. So he has, like, if I've said it before, y'all, he's basically talks about there's three people in this world. There's connectors, and people who hold information, and also people who are salesmen. Connectors, basically, that's kind of, I feel I'm a connector. I know a bunch of people. I can bring up a bunch of people in different spaces. They network and they do massive things. You've seen that.
Yeah.
There's people who are information holders, like yourself, that just store so much knowledge and know it and share that information to others to help them, scale out whatever goals they have. And then there's people who are salesmen that really know how to, have information and are able to convince you of the success that it'll output, right? And basically those three people in this world are able to essentially create movements, trends, are able to change the minds of nations and groups, right? To start massive movements around this world and globe or within their community, right? So yeah, I see you as one of those, man. Information holder, but also a connector too, twice.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm working on connecting because sometimes I get socially drained, but that's something I need to be able to do to achieve my purpose, I think.
Yeah. Glad you brought up purpose.
Yeah, I think it's really important as you think about defining success. And I think that's something that everyone should do. Me personally, I look at everything that I've done of achieving my goals once a month. So it doesn't have to be that frequent, but I feel like everyone should at least just set some goals yearly, annually, and then see how you're tracking towards them and look at whether or not it makes sense for your life. Are these the things I actually want to be doing, or do I need to shift, and what are the steps I need to take to do that?
Go back to episode 1, y'all, of the season 1, because we talked about how we do that at the beginning of the new year. It doesn't have to be for the new year, but it's strategies to help you set up your goals and how you can kind of pinpoint that in different areas of life.
Yeah. I wanted to share just 2 other stats to maybe slow things down for us, and then unless you had something else you wanted to add on right now.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So, I wanted to share that Black adults under, and I don't know why I focus specifically. I know other people listen, but anyway, Black adults.
Yeah.
That's what these stats are. Shout out to everyone else though too. Black adults under 50 are particularly likely to emphasize having time for life and doing meaningful work as essentials for success. And that's from Pew Research as well. So we emphasize having time to do things outside of work now, which I don't know was always the case. But then on top of that, so I shared earlier how many individuals, I think I said only 26% consider themselves very or extremely successful. And then 71% feel pressure to have enough money to live how they want. And 68% feel pressure to provide for their family. So even though many of us, we may or may not be extremely or very successful or consider ourselves to be so, we still feel the pressure to be able to provide for people. And that might be how we define success, right? Because that's one of the ways people define it. And so even if we don't see ourselves there, we feel the pressure to get there.
I agree with that because they're not here yet, but like right now, they're not present, but I feel a pressure to work so hard for my future wife and kids. I want my kids to be so spoiled. They'll know the value of $1 and working because, that's how I grew up, not super spoiled, but definitely someone who, like my dad, he took me out there to work, understanding how to like make money with your hands as like a man and to also provide for home, right? But I also want my wife to know that, everything's covered is straight.
A soft life.
Yeah, real soft life. So, so like really, my point is that like, I feel like I'm working hard right now for the families who is not even here.
Yeah.
Because when my wife comes in the picture, like we should only be building up, of course, what she brings, but also what I've laid the foundation for, right? And then our kids are only to come in and to experience that and use those resources to scale up their life, right?
Yeah.
So, that's a good point.
You feel that pressure.
I feel that pressure now.
Do you feel like you would consider yourself successful with like how you define success right now?
Honestly, from like a way of not looking at others and comparing to others, yeah, I'd say I'm successful
That's
right
good.
now. Like truthfully, I do feel like I am successful. Like, and the thing is, what always makes me happy and I think about it is that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's called age. Because y'all, I'm 27. Like literally, life just started.
Yeah,
literally just started.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah,
because I feel sometimes very elderly and sometimes young, like a teenager. I'm not a teenager, but you're right. We're very young. We have a lot of life ahead of us and time to change what success looks like and then achieve new goals. I'll kind of like end my line of questioning with this.
Okay.
How do you work to redefine success for yourself?
So how do I work to redefine success for myself? Honestly, I feel like it comes down to just me assessing my goals. Like you said, I look at my goals for the year and I look at what I've accomplished. I actually notate within my phone notes. And I like physical, but I have in my notes of just like everything that I've done so far that I said I was going to do like 3 to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Where I am projected for the future if I haven't accomplished yet, or what I've checked off and I've done.
Yeah.
And that allows me to understand, okay, now in the new environment that I'm in, the new career space that I'm in, the new interest that I have, how can I reshape and integrate that with the space that I'm in, like in this current year, right? Or whatever, like, area in life I'm in. So I say it comes down to like a retrospective analysis, big words for y'all. And then, and then looking and evaluating like where I want to go directionally, whether it's like, property and development, that's an interest of mine, right? Whether it's family planning, that's something I aspire as well, right? Whether it's scaling up within my corporate world, that's another area of life, right? And also I have to consider the timing of everything, the resources, if I currently have them, and also, does it make sense to do all these things at the same time? Yeah. Because literally, like, there's some goals I know that I shouldn't even be touching right now, right? Mm-hmm. Earlier this year, I wanted to work and get a PMP, but I was buying the house, right? The house was a goal that was set for 3 years ago that I want to accomplish this year, actually. And
you did it.
Amen. Shout to God.
Amen.
And the problem is, and also, I wanted to also look at new roles and pivot into a new role. But getting a new role to transition from being a PM into a senior role and trying to get a PMP while trying to purchase a home would not make any sense. Yeah. It wouldn't. You
have to prioritize.
You have to prioritize what matters now and what are the things you can push back later so you can achieve your existing goals. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like creating a prioritization list. Yeah. As a PM yourself, that's like, defined as like one of the key things in a project. I see my life as a project, so not a Section 8 project, but like y'all shot the Section 8. I used to be there,
please,
but please. But essentially, like that's how I see life and how I shift and define how. What? Because your question was, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was trying to get
No,
back to
you
the
did
goal.
answer the question because I asked, how do you work to redefine
Yeah,
success?
that's how I work to redefine success in my life.
Yeah.
Just strategically based on what I've accomplished. What are the new things that, because in my life, and I meet people like yourself that I understand that, okay, there are goals that are in my new environment, in my new circle that I want to achieve based not on comparison, but also just I see the quality of life that it can give me.
Pushes you.
It pushes me and motivates me, right? Because, I'm not a hater and everything, because everything
Yeah.
that, my friends have are blessings. If we're in the same space and we are around each other, I mean, I could have the same thing.
Yeah, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Exactly.
Thank you for sharing. I would say my process is pretty similar. I don't have anything like too unique or like very germane to this discussion. So we'll just, I guess one thing I would want to leave people with is like, it's okay if your definition of success changes, because obviously we've talked about how it's not the same for us all the time. And I think it's good to be around people, what you just mentioned, who push you, and keep that in mind. If you want to be successful, it's good to surround yourself with people who are doing the things that you want to do,
Right.
or who inspire you to be greater. So just make sure you're looking at how you define success, and that ultimately the things that you're doing, they're giving you the experiences you want to have in life. I don't think about a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan. Maybe I should. I know a lot of people do that, but it's hard for me to think that far ahead. I think about and I consider the experiences that I want to have in life or in my career or with my friends and family. And then I start to think about what I need to do to have those experiences.
Yep. I like that.
Thank you.
Cool.
Well,
Hey.
I'm going to ask you what you're listening to right now.
What I'm listening to right now, I am going to pull out the good Spotify, because I used to just try to like go off the dome, but now we're going to, we live in 2025, y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So right now, I just favorited a song. Where is it? Ooh, that No Sign by Weakness album by Burna Boy. I love it. So I'm
okay.
keep going back to it. I love the song Dim Day. So me and my homeboys, we actually had a listening party to his album one night.
I was invited to that.
Yeah, but you didn't come. So the album is top tier, y'all. Honestly, Burna Boy's experimenting a little bit on there, but Dim Day really sounds like real, like authentic Burna Boy. You know?
Okay.
I don't know what Dim Day means. I think it's pidgin English. So like, you almost laughed.
No.
Okay, I thought you almost did. Well, because
Some of us understand pidgin.
hey, look,
Just kidding.
there's a reason why. But
right,
yeah,
whatever.
that's what I'm listening to right now. Shout out to Burna Boy. He's one of the greatest performers I've ever seen live. Actually, I went to his concert when I lived in LA. Yeah.
I have not gone to his concert, but I'm planning to go this year.
Yeah, he's coming in November.
Yeah. Hopefully this episode airs before then. I have been listening to Olivia Dean. She has an
Okay.
album coming out. I'm really excited. The song Nice to Each Other is so cute to me. It's very summery as well. And that one's not super new, but I really like it. And then the song Dive. So Dive and Nice to Each Other by Olivia Dean.
You putting me on. That's
Yeah.
an artist to me. Darren has been listening to a lot of also Chris Brown.
And I'm going to his concert. Are you going to go?
He's doing the Excuse Me Miss. Is that the Excuse Me Miss dance when he starts? You know what I'm saying? He's doing the dance behind the camera, y'all. Kiss Kiss with T-Pain. Yeah.
Kiss, kiss.
Look, the music is at his old alma mater. It's at FIU. Let me tell you something. Chris Brown and T-Pain got signed with each other. So T-Pain was 19, Chris Brown was 16. They started together. Yeah, and like T-Pain
I do
was
not think of them as the same age range.
Yeah.
They're 3 years apart.
T-Pain a Florida boy. He from Tallahassee.
No, but age-wise.
3 years apart. Yeah, T-Pain was 19. Like, what's that song? His famous song, I'm in love with a stripper. What's the other
I'm in
song?
love with a
Sprung.
stripper.
He was 19.
I'm sprung.
T-Pain a young man.
Now she got
Yeah,
me.
but thank you, Darren. Thank you for letting us know, my brother. The 99 2000.
We're gonna get Darren a chair.
Yeah, he acting like he wanted a chair.
He said.
Yeah, all right.
He raised his hand.
Co raised his hand. Can I say something? All right, y'all. Look, we got to get about this studio. Thank you for coming and watching another episode of Two Peas in the Pod. You got PJ and Les. You can find us on the social platforms: X, TikTok, Instagram. 2Ps_1 podcast. It'll populate on the screen. Find us on all audio and video audio platforms.
Yeah.
So you'll see us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. We're just grateful for you as supporters, being a part of the P Pod and just being avid listeners, honestly, and just being able to support us through our journey in this second season. Less anything.
Just comment, like, subscribe. We appreciate all of you watching, and I think that's it.
And don't forget to DM y'all. Thank you again, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.